Thank you, Ed. Well, from the nation's first fire-safe community to celebrating arts and culture, there's plenty of major renovations happening up north in the city of Escondido. Here to talk about it all is Mayor Dane White and Chief Operating Officer for San Diego North Economic Development, Caitlin Canby. Good morning to the both of you. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Mayor, we were just discussing some of the fun stuff going on. You were mentioning the mall. There is more exciting movement happening at the mall, one of which I just learned about recently because of one of our wonderful guests.
Absolutely, and that one is actually kind of a miracle success story because they were previously located on Grand Avenue. Unfortunately, they had grown out of that and they had reached out to myself and the city looking for a bigger place to move into.
We're talking about the Grand Comedy Club.
The Grand Comedy Club, yes. And it just so happened the California Pizza Kitchen was going bankrupt and out of business, so they slid right into there, and it's one of the new exciting things going on at the mall.
That's exciting because there's plenty of parking, and how many places can we say that about, right?
And I think while malls are kind of dying out everywhere else in Escondido, in addition to the Grand Comedy Club, we're getting round one sometime in the next year as well, which is going to be huge.
All right, well, that's exciting. Other topics that you want to hit on as far as major developments that are going on in Escondido?
I would like to highlight the first ever in the nation wildfire safe community that was recently opened up in Escondido, Dixon Trails. It is meant to act as a buffer, and they were built to some fire safe specifications, but nowhere else in the nation has this, and KB Homes made Escondido the first ever to do this. It's pretty exciting.
I am also very excited about this because we're learning more about how if a community is acting cohesively together to prevent, you know, some of these situations we've seen like in the Palisades and, you know, the Eaton fire, it really does make a difference as far as combating those fires because you're not having just one flammable house catching on to the next. I mean, this is a broader effort.
Absolutely, and not just that, but with the current insurance crisis in California, this is giving insurance companies a reason to stay and provide people the insurance that they need to keep their homes.
Right. Caitlin, we'll bring it to you because we've dedicated Mondays to sort of talk about a lot of the development going on in North County and some of the exciting things that are happening there, much of what we've highlighted here in Escondido. What are you seeing from the Economic Development Council and what is causing that boom and making it thrive economically as well?
Well, one of the things I love about Escondido is, it's one of the oldest cities in the county, and they really do honor their roots while also at the same time embracing the new. They just did a downtown revitalization of Grand Avenue. I was there on Friday and it's so beautiful. The sidewalks are widened. They've put in some more landscaping just in time for Cruising Grand to start up again in the summer.
So fun.
Yeah, so we'll get to see all of those vintage vehicles as well. And that's one of the things that's on our downtown guide that we've just published for historic downtown Escondido. The other thing that's on there is there's a historic district down there for those of you who don't know. You can take a tour of all the historic buildings. There's about 30. And then on Mother's Day, they actually have a tour that you can go inside of these buildings. And all of that's on the guide. You can find it on northcountydowntowns.com.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Do most of the cities within the North County area have these guides where you can kind of spotlight the historic nature of some of them?
Yes, we're actually publishing a bunch of them, and one by one. So Escondido's the third that we've put out. But I also don't want to miss the awesome arts thing that you're doing this month.
Absolutely. So we have declared April Arts, Culture, and Creativity Month. We began the month with a proclamation and a party in the park, and then yesterday we spent the afternoon jurying over 100 pieces for the first ever and hopefully annual Escondido-themed mayoral art contest. And there's going to be all of that art on display at the Escondido Art Association's gallery on Grand Avenue through the rest of the week. And then the first ever Indigenous Day celebration. It's kind of an arts and culture festival with our tribal partners happening Saturday the 19th at 10 o'clock in Grape Day Park.
And do you get to judge the mayoral drawing contest?
Yes, so I was one of 2 jurors, yeah. And you'll be able to see some of those displayed here later on this week at City Hall and again in the Art Association Gallery. But I got to tell you, there was over 100 participants and some of that art was pretty cool.
Wow, okay, looking forward to that. So all of that, of course, is on the city's website.
Yes.
There. And then, Caitlin, I wanted to quickly talk about Front Wave Arena and sort of the shift of having really arts and culture and sports and more of these attractions shifting north.
Yeah, it's really amazing, some of the things. I mean, you don't even hear about some of the other things. You know, we hear about Front Wave Arena and stuff like that, but it's really great to see all of these quality of life things coming up for the residents who are already there, but also talent attraction and retention for people who, we want all of our talent to be close by so that they don't have to commute so far. One of the other things, arts related, was the city of Encinitas just had their Pacific View Arts Center that they finished last year. We awarded them an Economic Development Award for that. And the California Center for the Arts is also a great draw for, you know, tourists and, you know, the quality of life in the town. So
Escondido, yeah. Well, thank you both. A lot of exciting things happening in the North County, especially in Escondido. So much continued success.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back with much more coming up on Good Morning San Diego.